Ashley, can I ask you a question? Good morning. Let me hand you a microphone. What we're doing is we're live streaming this event today, and it's accessible on our LinkedIn page for the Women's Business Development Center, WBDC, on the LinkedIn page. Can you introduce yourself and what is your business? And then speak into the mic.
I'm Ashley Knox-Aline, Executive Director of Go Beyond Greatness. We are an educational consultancy based out in New York, but we're here in Chicago. We provide educational leadership development and professional development for youth and young adults with a focus in college and career readiness. Here today, as it becomes a challenge as a woman in business and understanding how to navigate the business structures in an appropriate way. And so I'm really looking forward to, the strategies and some of the things that may have not been, that I may have not been privy to that can help to support our organizational growth and for us to continue doing great work with our next generation of young people to go beyond their greatness.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. That was cool. Thank you. And I'm Josh Gutstein.
Oh, okay.
Nice to meet you too. Hi, Nicole. I'm I'm Josh Gutstein. I'm Access to Capital's Managing Director. And so I was going to ask you to introduce yourself and talk about your business and speak into the mic. We're live streaming this event on the LinkedIn, WBDC's LinkedIn page.
Okay. So my name is Dr. Nicole Truesdale. My business definition is Dreamscapes, which is a creative space that's worthwhile and control where bring people together through experiments and experiences to connect through their humanity as a way to build community. So it's a location of different education that breaks the four walls of the classroom and asks us what does it mean to be human again in a society that is constantly having us rethink what it means to connect with.
Outstanding. Thank you, Nicole. And I hope you enjoy some delicious Taylor's tacos. Hello.
Hi,
I'm Josh Gutstein. I'm Managing Director at the Access to Capital program here at WBDC.
Awesome.
I was wondering if you could speak into the mic and introduce yourself. We are live streaming this event on our LinkedIn WBDC homepage.
Very cool.
So introduce yourself and your business.
Yeah, so I'm Carly Aaron. I run the Good Food Accelerator here in Chicago. So I don't run a business, I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm a business and entrepreneur support to food and beverage businesses in the city.
Where are you located?
Our office is in East Garfield Park. Right off of Albany Ave, on Albany Ave, like on Carroll.
And then you have full kitchen.
No, so we're an business education support group. So we're a nonprofit under, it's called the Good Food Catalyst. Good Food Accelerator is the program that supports food and beverage businesses through core business training. So we cover finances, marketing, operations, all these kind of things. Mentorship, one-on-one mentorship as well. But we don't have like a culinary here. We're not a shared kitchen space.
Oh, that's fantastic. I will have a referral for you, I promise.
Cool.
This is really great. I'll get you a card.
What's your name?
Hi, how are you? Oh, good. So we're doing a live stream of the event. I'm Josh Gutstein. I'm Managing Director of the Access to Capital program, who we're facilitating this at WBDC. I was wondering if you could introduce yourself and what is your business?
So my name is Bettina Slaughter, and I am the owner of the Delicious Sweets Boozy Treats.
Sweet, what do they do?
So what I do is I take traditional snacks that adults like, and I put a little booze to it. So I make boozy gummies from scratch. We have our new item, which is our boozy trail mix, and then I have boozy nut dairy ice cream.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get your card and I'm gonna get some boozy treats myself.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you. Well, enjoy. We're going to hear you as a speaker, but you could introduce yourself.
Oh, okay.
This is good. This is our live stream.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stephanie. I'm with Honeycomb Credit, and I'm really excited to be here and share information about all the wonderful programs that Honeycomb has for all the local businesses.
As you can tell.
Hi. Hey, can I interest you in introducing yourself for our live stream audience?
Sure. Perfect.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Taylor. I'm with Bank of America, and I work with the CDFI Ambassador Program and promoting small business resources throughout to help our business owners that we help. So.
Very cool. Great to
Thank
meet
you.
you.
Thanks for coming through. Hello.
Hey, we're live streaming this.
Hey everyone. Welcome to Let's Chat Live.
Do you want to introduce yourself and where you're working now?
Yeah.
That is not at WBDC or the Access to Capital program.
I'm Isaac Smoke, as their Director of Community Development. So excited that you are watching and excited to hear from our panelists. It's going to be a great time.
Okay, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started with our event. We want to say thank you so much for coming out to support our now third Let's Chat Live in person. Woo! So excited about that. And so in further ado, we're going to introduce Karen Goldner, who is our Managing Director of Established Business, to talk a little bit about the WBDC. And again, welcome and thank you all for coming out today. All right.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you all for coming. It's such a beautiful day. It's so nice to see everybody's beautiful faces. Some I know, most I don't. It's been fun getting to talk to folks. So my name is Karen Goldner, and my job here this morning is to talk about the WBDC except for access to capital. That's what we're all here for. So talking to you about the stuff that you're not actually here for. So it'll be quick. The Women's Business Development Center is a nonprofit organization headquartered in downtown Chicago. We're almost 40 years old, and we serve the Chicagoland area, and we also serve 9 Midwestern states, essentially Illinois, Wisconsin, and then to the west. We talk about that we make connections, certification, capital, and so I'm not going to talk about capital, but the connections and certification that we do. We provide one-on-one business advising to companies of all types within the Chicagoland area. By all types, I mean you don't have to be women-owned. All small businesses, and we can help whether it's coaching on starting a business or growing the business, or you have one question that you need answered, or you want to coach every month, whatever. We work with all kinds of businesses, and there's no charge for those services. They're paid for through the Illinois Small Business Development Center, the Federal Small Business Administration, and so forth. The next thing that we do is we certify women-owned businesses. Okay, so the coaching and that work is for everybody, and then the certification is just for businesses that are women-owned, and those are in the 9 Midwestern states that I kind of briefly described. We have offices here, Milwaukee, the Twin Cities, Kansas City, and St. Louis. So we're all over the Midwest. And the purpose of that WBE certification is to help businesses access corporate contracts. Okay, so corporate customers, Fortune 1000 types of companies. And then, kind of on the other side of certification, and again, now I'm back to all businesses, whether you're woman-owned or not, in the Chicagoland area, we help help you access government contracts. Okay, so we've got a team called the Apex Accelerator, which doesn't really mean anything at all as a term, but we didn't make it up. But it is a great program that helps you learn about how to do business with the government. And my hint here is that there is not a government, right? There's the federal government, which has many different departments, of course. There's state, local, and local means all the different cities and communities around, and Cook County and other counties. Anyway, lots of opportunity on the public side. Sometimes it makes sense to get certified in those jobs and in that work, and we can help coach you through that process. So that is all of the stuff that the WBDC does. Well, some of the stuff. Taylor actually is one of our WBEs, and Taylor was in one of our programs 2020. Because I met Taylor at literally the last in-person event too, before everything was shut down. That's called Top Shelf, and that's a program if you are in the consumer product space and want to scale up into the mass retail environment. So that's one of the cohorts we offer. But we have similar types of cohort programming, whether you're, no matter what your industry, frankly. And businesses that maybe you're at 150,000 and you're just kind of stuck. Or maybe you're at 50 and it's like, well, I'd love to have the problem of being stuck at 150. Whatever, we have programs to help businesses of all sizes, shapes, and so forth. So I think that is all I'm going to say, and now I turn it back over to Ms. Demian.
Thank you so much for that intro of the WBDC. So again, our whole purpose of our Let's Chat Live is to come into the communities and get behind the desk, get from behind the desk, get from behind Zoom, and actually engage and bring that networking, that in-person networking back again. So that was our whole purpose of now. We're at our third location, which is Taylor. So I am going to not further ado, also introduce our partners that made this happen today, which is Huntington. That is Rachel and Stephanie. So thank you so much. I'm going to have them come up and tell us a little bit about Huntington.
Hello. Hi everyone. Thank you for having us. My name is Rochelle from Huntington Bay. I'm actually a branch manager on the north side. And this is...
Hello, my name is Stephanie. I'm also a branch manager at the north side as well, Oscar Pulaski branch. And we're really excited to be here. Thank you for having us over.
Yes, I do apologize if you're not able to understand a little bit. I am getting off a little cold. But the focus is we're trying to network with a lot of our partners and also get to know a lot of business owners because Huntington is really focused on a lot of the minorities, the women's, veterans-owned business, and even the low to moderate income tract locations as well. Although we do work with a lot of businesses, but to focus on that specific, it's called the Live Global program. The good thing about that is it's zero origination fees. It's just a fine way for us to help small businesses around the community, and we're here every step of the way. Just to be transparent, it's not something that's going to be an easy road. That's why we're here for, to support you for every step of the way. We're not just here for the lending. We're here to any services that you may need. That could be for just an account or just a merchant, anything that can support your businesses, just let us know and we're here to help you.
Yeah, like Rochelle said, we have this great program that not every financial institution offers. We're the #1 SBA lender, and we're a Live Local program. We help small businesses. So we can offer from a minimum of $1,000 up to $150,000. So with this program, it's aimed to help your business from the very beginning, from when it's just an idea, a goal that you have, you're starting to work on. You don't need to have a business set up. We can help you with the very beginning, from opening your very basic business checking account, to setting up merchant services, to making sure we're protecting your business, to helping you buy the equipment that you're going to need to start the business, the payroll, everything that you need, we're there for you. We do startup loans where we take your business plan, we take that and give you a loan based off of that plan that you have. So this is a great program that we want to share with all small business owners, so they know there's resources that we can help you, that we can provide for you to help you help your business grow. Anything else that you want to add to that?
So with that being said, if you guys need more information, we have the flyers also on the table, and again, me and Steph are here for every step of the way to support you. Thank you for having us.
If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. We'll provide our business cards information. We'll be more than happy to have a one-on-one conversation so we can learn more about your business and what your future goals are.
And topic amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, so much. So we are going to go ahead and get started with our panelists. So I am going to start the introduction so that we can meet our panelists that we have today. I'm going to step over to my laptop. So our moderator, we have Taylor, founding owner of Taylor Tacos. Taylor made his first attempt at California style street tacos was at an art event. It was operations, developing flavor profiles. Meanwhile, Taylor took on the business, execution, and branding. They moved into a commercial kitchen in 2019 to scale up. In 2023, they opened their own taco shop and catering kitchen. Taylor's mission goes beyond food. She's aimed to build community. Being a Black-owned, woman-owned, and lesbian-owned taco shop, we understand firsthand how important it is. For their tacos, Taylor says she's learning every day. It's wild to think that something you dreamed of can become so tangible and instrumental to creating a legacy of wealth and longevity. Taylor's advice to small business owners: there are going to be great days, there's going to be terrible days, and everything in between. Prioritize yourself, and that includes paying yourself. So let's meet Taylor. Thank you, Taylor. Our next panelist we have is Samantha Graf. Oh yeah, Graf. Samantha Graf. She is our Honeycomb Credit. She's been there for about 3.5 years. She is now head of customer experience. After spending 3.5 years in global capital markets, she transitioned from traditional finance to join an early stage pre-seeded hedge tech startup. At Honeycomb Credit, they empower mainstream entrepreneurs by connecting with them with capital from everyday investors. As one of the early team members, she established the company's customer success profile from scratch. In the role of customer success, she set groundwork for scaling operations, enhancing customer engagement, and shaping Honeycomb's overall success strategy. Whether on trading floors or in startup environments, she thrives at fast-paced, high-growth settings. Welcome, Samantha. Next on our agenda is Alex. Alex Felton, correct? Felton. He is with Pursuit Lending. He is the vice president. And I was told specifically to put he is our key point man in Chicago. With over 15 years of demonstrating success in the financial industry, inspiring businesses, professional and personal growth. As an energetic leader focused on building and motivating teams to boost productivity and enhance overall operation efficiency while establishing a positive working environment. Alex is a skilled negotiator, communicator, driven to strengthen service, develop new businesses, increase companies' revenues in a client-focused and sales-oriented environment. As a leader and motivator, he prioritizes, sorry, that word always gets me, organizational environment within the community to generate opportunities and create change. He is passionate about producing an environment that is dynamic, diverse, engaged, and encouraging to build up the organization and better the community. Let's meet Alex. Lyndsae, who I am especially excited that came all the way from Baltimore, my Kiva leader. Lyndsae, MBA, PMEC, is a result-driven financial coach, international speaker, author, and Black wealth advocate. She received her BA in broadcasting journalism from Howard University, her MBA from the University of Maryland Global Campus, and her certification in women's entrepreneurship at Cornell University. Lyndsae serves as the Kiva U.S. Entrepreneur Ecosystem Manager. She supports a portfolio of 35 community-based Kiva lending partners called Hubs, which is us at WBDC. Maryland Financial Service Champion of the Year. Lyndsae thrives on her ability to serve others through public service and board engagement. She volunteers her time as a certified SCORE mentor, the vice president of the Greater Baltimore Black Chamber of Commerce, and O'Hara Development Partner, CDC. She is committed to living her life purpose to strengthen business ownership, increase home ownership, and decrease the financial literacy rate in marginalized communities. Meet Lyndsae. Emma is our Associate Director of Access to Capital Program and Services here at the WBDC and does an awesome job. Emma advises the diverse entrepreneurs on their capital options and supports the direct lending program. Prior to joining WBDC, Emma worked in corporate, retail, inventory management, and merchandising. She has extensive experience in corporate, DEI initiatives, and supplier diversity program management. Emma holds a BA in Information Systems and an MBA in Entrepreneurial and Management from Loyola University. Meet our panelists. For what you all been waiting for.
All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Taylor Mason. I'm so happy that you are here. You could be anywhere in the world, but you are here, ready to learn, ready to grow, hopefully ready to get money in an unconventional way for your business. And so I've been to a lot of panels that can be a mess, and that's not one of these panels. I really want to get down to the nitty gritty, and I want to know who you guys are so that we can really tailor this to make sure that we answer your questions and that we're not just up here just randomly, okay? So it's so important. I'm part of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program, and something that they really taught us was about being efficient, effective, and getting your point across quickly and creating those relationships, because you never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to be with, who can help you, who can be a part of your team, who can be a part of your village that's going to help your business go to where it needs to go. So quickly, y'all got about 20 seconds. I will cut you off to let me know your name, your business, and why you are here, and how these wonderful people who took time out of their busy, wealthy day to help you, okay? So let's get to it. I'm going to come right over here. Who are you?
Hi, my name is Tina. I'm the owner of the Delicious Sweets, Boozy Treats. Why I am here is for networking purposes and then finding out information about funding, especially in the minority and the alcohol business.
Okay, super. Hello, everyone. I'm Penny Garrison, the director of the Illinois SBDC at the YWCA. I'm actually here because I'd like to learn more about what's going on here and effective ways to continue assisting my clients. Okay, sweet. All right, you guys are getting this, right? Taking notes, okay? You want to say something?
Hello, everyone. I'm a summer intern at WBDC. I'm also a student at the University of Chicago. I study economics and statistics, and I'm very excited to be here. What's your name? And I'm Sophia, yes.
Sophia, thank you for inviting me. I got the invite last minute. My name is Heidi House. I have my own company, clothing company. I'm wearing an outfit right now. Ooh, I work with, I would love to make you one. This is my family street. This is where our family was born. My grandparents, they started our whole family on this street, which is freaking me out, but this is where we are today. But I have HeidiHouse.com. I have in my inbox, the Today Show wants to work with me to figure out how to scale my business. So I'd love to do it with the city of Chicago, and it's kind of perfect. It's kismet, and I love meeting y'all. So I'd like to connect a little bit more today while we're here. Thank you so much for having me.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Nicole. I'm a consulting firm as well as a creative arm called Evolutionist Dreamscape. So a lot of my business is asking, what does it mean to be human in dehumanizing times, and how do we build community in different ways that breaking the four walls of the past. So looking for funding as a single proprietor, small LLC, and including creative work along with consulting work. Thank you, Dr. Nicole.
Hello, I'm Marley Heron. I run a food accelerator here in the city of Chicago. We're located at East Garfield Park. We're a small business assistance program for food and beverage businesses, meaning CPG, catering, restaurants. I'm here to learn.
Thank you, everyone, that put this event together. My name is Ashley Knox-Aline. I'm Executive Director of Go Beyond Greatness. We're a New York State and New York City MWBE the educational consultancy, providing leadership development, professional development for youth and young adults with a focus in college and career readiness. I was invited by Lyndsae that I met recently in my first time here in Chicago. One of the things on why I'm here is to see if there's any coaching on how to make those tacos. I'm not kidding, but the question is what to learn here. What is it, as a woman and building business and expansion outside of your community, going into another state, would love to be invited to the Chicago area and see if there's some synergy around just working with amazing women in business and also state and government contracting. Sweet, well, thank you for coming. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Lisa. I have a startup called Sarah and Cocktail, and what I do is help local businesses have stronger marketing, more profitable marketing, because that's usually the thing for small businesses that can afford agency fees and things like that. So I'm here really to, I guess, just see what financing options are out there. I don't know if I need it, but we'll see. And then also learn about that to support clients as well. So let's be here.
Good morning, Cheryl Hudson-Jackson, YWCA Metropolitan Chicago. I'm the director of Business Enterprise, but I'm part of the Breedlove Entrepreneurship Center, where we look at the whole ecosystem of those who want to be business owners to all those who are late-stage businesses that are trying to figure out how to instill them for generational wealth. And I was invited by Isaac to come out and hang out with everyone today and learn something and make some connections. So very happy to be here with all of you.
Hello, I am Lois Wilkins. I'm also with the Breedlove Entrepreneurship Center, and I'm a director and a business coach there. And I am here to network and to learn and hopefully get to coach all of you as one of my clients.
Hi, I think I've met you all, but I'm again Denise Peele, Associate Director here at WBDC, heading up our Kiva.
Hello, Stephanie once again with Huntington. I'm really excited to meet every one of you and provide information about what Huntington has to offer.
Hi again, everyone. My name is Michelle from Huntington Bank. Again, I'm just here to support and learn as well as the neighbors.
Good morning. I'm Candace Lucas. I'm the owner and founder of Riddler Inc. I am a pest control supplier and service company. Oh, I'm here to network and to get information. All right.
Hi, I'm Taylor Banashevsky, also Taylor. I'm here from Bank of America. I'm a small business banker and a CDFI ambassador. So here just learning about more resources and places that we can help, use to help our clients.
I'm Isaac. I'm currently with United Way of Metro Chicago, but formerly Director of Access to Capital with Women's Business Development Center, and I'm here to hear from an incredible panel.
Here, welcome to WBDC. I'm here because I was told to speak. I'm staying.
My name is Maya Lyndsae, and I'm the co-owner of Taylor Soccer Chicago and the States that you're in now. I am here as a person that wants to learn and just come out.
Woo! Well, thank you guys so much. That was awesome. That was helpful for you guys as we answer questions. People just want information, and rightfully so. I was one of those people. As you know, I'm Taylor Mason, chef and owner of Taylor Soccer Chicago with my wonderful wife, Maya. She's like, you always got to point her out, but she's here today, so that's super awesome. What started as a fun way to bring people together in Southern California has now turned into Taylor Soccer Chicago. I can't believe it. I thought I was going to live my best life in LA, never come back to cold Chicago. And then my senior year, my mother had back-to-back brain aneurysms. And that totally changed the whole trajectory of my life. My dad asked me to come back home. It was hard, but it was a no-brainer. I had to come back and help my family. So I went to the family business. They own a basketball company, and after 4 years, my mom kind of got back to normal. And now I'm like, I'm too broke to go back to LA. What am I going to do? So I really had to dig deep, do some soul searching. I went to go to interviews 9 to 5. I made it to like the 4th and 5th rounds. I was told no, doors were slammed in my face. I'm like, I don't have enough outfits to wear to the interviews anymore. Anyway, what am I going to do? So I decided, what do I love? I knew I loved bringing people together. I knew I loved cooking. I was always known as the team cook. I played basketball at Pepperdine University. And I knew that I just loved the community, and also being a lesbian, a black lesbian, a woman, it was always about creating spaces that didn't exist, safe spaces, if you will. And so that turned into Taylor's Tacos, which is an authentic street style taco with soul. So think of the black taco, I'm thinking of Mexican taco, had a baby, That's Taylor's topic. And so we decided to, that was in 2019, how KG had said that I met her at Top Shelf because we weren't sure what we wanted to do. It was just a hobby. I met my wonderful wife, Maya. We were just kind of schlepping around, just popping up. It was a hobby. It was like, hey, this is something I'm good at, but it can't be a real job. And it's like, it has to be a real job. So I went to Top Shelf and I was like, maybe I can sell my sauces. I think my sauce is the boss. Let's do this. We can put it in stores. This is going to be great. And then the pandemic happened. And so I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And we had just made our first 100K in sales. I'm like, I'm on top of the world. We can take over. We can open a restaurant. That wasn't no money, especially in, like at that time. And so in 2020, it was kind of the best and worst thing that happened to us because we had to figure out what to do. How can I make my business pop in this weird time? Before we were just doing pop-ups where we came to your event, obviously we couldn't do that. So then I had to study and practice and figure out how can I make sure that my food is accessible if people can't come together. And so then we started doing, kind of what you have today. And we were able to go from 100K to 250K in 2020. And I was like, oh my God, wow, great, let's do this. We weren't rich at all because, that's the top line. We really had to think about the bottom line. The bottom line was like $7,000 in our pocket. I'm like, what are we doing now? And so then we're trying to be, I've been blessed, I have to give the gab, I can tell the story, so I could get grants. I was able to get approved for a lot of grants, and not everybody has that. Not everybody can tell and articulate their story. So I'm like, can we go to the bank? Credit is looking a little shoddy, I'm obviously a Black woman, and, unfortunately, it is a stigma in our community that, generational wealth isn't necessarily passed down because 400 years ago, we didn't have the chance to be able to start our own businesses. And when we did, they wanted to burn it down to the ground, So for us to be able to be a walking anomaly and to be able to change that is something that I wanted to be a part of. And that started with getting your credit together and doing everything that you need so that you can be set up so that when they knock on the door, you can open it and let them in and do what you need to do. And so that was super important. So we were able to get a couple of loans here and there, which is not the money and the capital that we really needed to be able to get this space, to be able to get our restaurant space. And that's when I was introduced to Honeycomb. Our business is all about community tech, we like to call it, bringing people together one taco at a time. And it's like, why wouldn't I go to the people who support me? They say they want to support me. All right, put your money where your mouth is. You can put this money in. It's not, and I didn't want to do a Kickstarter where I felt like I was just begging for money. I don't want to beg. Like, that sounds scary to me. If I make it so that people are giving and they're a part of this and they can grow with this and then they get a return on their investment, it sounds great. And then we were able to raise about $51,000 and they started getting payouts 3 months later, and it's wonderful. And then they still come into my business, they support, they're excited to know that they have helped this, and they're like, hey, you're doing it again. And so that was super helpful to me, and that's why I was super excited to be here, and so that you guys can learn, so that hopefully you have 50,000, 60,000, 100,000 coming to your business. So with that said, tell us more about Honeycomb, what you offer, and we'll just let everyone know.
Pass the microphone.
Graf with Honeycomb Credit. So Honeycomb, as Taylor alluded to, provides a platform for entrepreneurs to borrow funds directly from everyday investors. So by launching a small business loan offering on Honeycomb, that a business and an entrepreneur is allowing customers, fans, followers of the business to make an investment in a small business loan starting at $100. So if you're familiar with a Kickstarter, we operate under a crowdfunding model, but it's an investment-based crowdfunding. So, a customer can invest, starting at $100 in a business that's working with us. And then from the entrepreneur's perspective, once that funding round is closed, it functions very similar to the way a bank loan would function, but rather than paying back a bank, that entrepreneur is paying back all of those people, customers who had invested in the loan. So we consider it a win-win that the entrepreneur gets capital that they need to grow their business, and the customers of the business get to financially share the success of their favorite local business.
Awesome. Thank you. So first of all, thank you all for being here. Thank you for investing in yourself. That is extremely important. A lot of times entrepreneurs don't necessarily have the confidence to even step into rooms like these, especially when there is a knowledge gap. So I want to appreciate all of you for showing up. Thank you, and give yourselves a round of applause. Really quickly, before I answer the question around who Kiva is, I really like to share my journey with Kiva because it's so important to know who you're hearing from and why Kiva is so important to me and the work that we do. So my background is in financial services. I come from the banking industry. I spent a number of years literally working
When the bank says no, that doesn't mean that the need for that entrepreneur goes away. It just means that we have to find another way. So as a resourceful small business banker, I was like, listen, I need to be connected to all of the non-traditional capital resources for my clients, and Kiva became one of my partners. So I would refer my entrepreneurs who I would unfortunately had to decline at the bank to Kiva to get Kiva loans right there in the city of Baltimore. It was a beautiful relationship. Fast forward to the end of 2020, life happens, right? I lost my job at the bank in the middle of the pandemic. I was given the vision to start my business, Kingdom Vision Consulting, and shortly later, Kiva, our hub in Baltimore, became one of my partners. So I was contracted to provide technical assistance to some of those same entrepreneurs that I helped get access to capital with Kiva who were struggling making their repayments. Then we fast forward to January 2023. I said, Lyndsae, we need capital right now for this business, and why not tap into 0% interest funding? So, knowing Kiva, knowing what I know, I too am now a Kiva borrower. I borrowed $9,500 from Kiva in January of 2023, and then I was recruited to actually fill this position in March of that same year. So it has been a beautiful journey with Kiva. I've been on all sides of the spectrum. Now, what is Kiva? Very similar to Honeycomb, we are also a crowdfunding platform. However, it is not investor-based. For our entrepreneurs, they literally pay 0% interest on their capital. There is no minimum credit score requirements. There is no minimum revenue and business requirement. There is no minimum time and business requirements. We are literally here to support you from the ideation phase to the growth phase of your business. And the way that this works from our lenders and our communities is that they're able to lend to your loan as little as $25. So $25 can make a difference. We currently go up to $15,000 in capital. We are that super microfinance option because we realize not everybody needs $25,000. Not everybody needs $10,000. There are some entrepreneurs who literally just need $2,500 to get started, and they don't always have access to that. So we are here to fill that gap for our entrepreneurs. But not only that, I'm sure in the title of my position, you all can hear ecosystem manager. What does that mean? One thing about Kiva is that we're very intentional about building and creating ecosystems that support entrepreneurs, because it's one thing to access capital, but it's also another thing to know what to do with the capital. How do we disperse that capital? How do we use that capital to increase our revenues in our business and or decrease expenses? So we spend a lot of time creating partnerships with our hub partners like WBDC. We also have trustees who are really supporting our entrepreneurs, because listen, it is a lonely journey oftentimes building your business, but you cannot do it alone. You absolutely need a team. And we make sure that we have those providers who can support those entrepreneurs. So my SBDC, I heard another business coach back there. We need you all as trustees to support the WBDC and make sure that these entrepreneurs are getting the additional technical assistance that they need. Thank you again.
Because I'm the lonely gentleman over here, I yield to my colleague and I'll go last.
Well, first I wanted to give Tamia her flowers real quick, because Tamia is one of the top performing, right, Lyndsae? One of the top performing Kiva hubs. And she is. So, well done, Tamia. My name is Emma Westfall, Associate Director of Access to Capital, WBDC. So what does that mean? I like to say I kind of have two hats, two roles. One, which is where I have met over 300 individual business owners, everyone from pre-venture to $5 million in annual revenue, multi-generational businesses. I work with folks one-on-one to first just kind of get a sense of who they are and what they need. And that is kind of, as anybody who here as a business advisor knows, is usually a lot of the work, right? Is to understand their needs and try to glean what are the best options for them. I kind of say there are really two options, cash flow and capital. And so I don't want to, while we're here to discuss capital today, I also don't want to overlook the importance of cash flow, which is really the underlying fundamental challenge that a lot of business owners have. And the way I coach folks, and we at WBDC have so many resources to do that, is really to make sure that you're understanding all the ins and outs of your business, really putting those best practices into place so that the capital you use is actually going to be that accelerator that you need it to be, right? We always want you to end up in a better place than when you started. So that's kind of my thing I do through business advising. And I think additionally what's super important, I think I counted 6 different lenders in here, and a lot of us have more than one product. And so a lot of my job as well is to just know the ecosystem, because there's so much going on that it can be really difficult to just know where you fit. And a lot of the information isn't necessarily public. And so you have to kind of, I would say, leverage the resources you have, whose job it is to know the ecosystem, and let us assist you and guide you down that path. So that's like one part of my job. The other part is I do underwrite our direct lending program. So we lend up to $50,000 to small business owners, 12 months and older. We are considered an alternative loan, so the process is similar to kind of a traditional bank loan. It is practically funded through WBDC. I kind of offer that one-on-one technical advising throughout the process. So one of our differentiators is we're bank folks, love our bank folks, but they don't necessarily have the time to spend with you to do the coaching aspect as well. That's kind of where we step in as well. So we don't have a credit score minimum. It's a great product. We'd love to talk to you more about it. And thank you.
My name is Alex Felton. Currently, I serve as the Vice President and Senior Business Development Officer with Pursuit. And for those who don't know Pursuit is a community development financial institution that's been in business for over 65 years, predated by SDS. So we are the oldest CDFI in the entire country.
Gotta hold it.
Oh yeah, it's one to the computer.
Just gotta hold it close.
Alex Felton, Pursuit. I stepped in business for myself for over 17 years, and what I mean by that is I understand pretty much all the aspects from anything dealing with business banking, commercial, mission-based. I've done it all over the 17 years that I've been in finance. And I took this opportunity to work with the Pursuit brand because I understand what it's like to work in a mission-based environment. Work for Action before we came out as a banking for a year. When I was with the Charter One brand, actually, was the #1 firm ethics firm. So I know what it's like to understand the narrative of small businesses and what the challenges that they face. I'm here to take on the banner of Pursuit new to the Chicagoland area. It's based out of Albany, New York. And yes, Albany. And so basically, I took the mantle and said, listen, I'm going to grow this particular brand because I know that I can make a difference for the people within the various communities that need access to capital. There's so much to be done. I'm just not enough personnel to do it. I'm going to be all of it. So I'm here to share my thoughts, my inspirations, and to make each and every single one of you essential. Essential. That's what I'm going to make you.
What are the ways, how do you get your loan? What do we need to get our loan through with you guys?
Well, we're a little different from most CDFIs. We ask that you at least have at least 2 business years of productivity in terms of showing us a positive cash flow, so that you're managing your business. That's important because if you were to go into any kind of banking institution, you want to know all you spend, what you're spending on, and you intend to pay it back. So we want you to have that mindset when you come to us, and basically also be open to the fact that now you'll be working with an individual person that's going to advocate for you and your business. He's going to understand your narrative, help you tell the stories, and the underwriting team said, listen, let's advocate for this particular individual. Let's provide them with the information and the resources they need to grow. Now, typically when you come to me, I'm going to ask you not only for a business plan, but a succession plan, because I don't know what you're going to do afterwards. Because there's nothing worse
asking someone for their big violin, right? You don't just like not practice and then show up for the rehearsal and be like, you know, that's not really gonna go well. So we gotta make sure that you have your, you know, P's and Q's addressed. And what I mean by that is, as lenders, as underwriters, as people who understand finance, we can tell our own story with your income statement. If you can't anticipate what is this story going to tell somebody, and you can't anticipate the questions that are going to arise from that puts you kind of on your back hands, right? So we want to ensure that not only do you understand the business and you have the documentation ready, updated, and accessible, we also want to ensure that you have crafted that narrative and that you're also anticipating any challenges or areas of the business where perhaps you need to strengthen, as well as talk about how is the capital going to unlock additional revenue for you, right? The purpose of the revenue for our loan, the purpose is not, it's not to, my analogy is, it's not to necessarily bail out a ship that has a bunch of holes in it. The purpose is to help you make some new sales and to catch the wind that is already there that you're just not quite set up to capture, right? So that's how we have to think about capital. And lastly, I would say, get the capital before you need it, right? Before you need it. Because that's just not necessarily how finance is set up to work. There's risk involved. We have to make sure that all of our things are in place. We're just not necessarily, you know, able to turn things around in a day. If we are in a place, right, where we need capital right now, that's where folks get into trouble. So I would say make sure you also are giving yourself enough time. I mean like several weeks, if not at least a month.
So it's sounding like stay ready so you don't have to
stay ready.
All right, so when opportunity knocks, you have all of your ducks in a row so that we can just slide it on over to you. And I love that you guys coordinate this. We got the loan, and then the blue, and the money. You know the difference. So we've got some crowd coming in. And so, what are the key factors in order to be able to have a successful campaign?
Sure. So, you know, at Honeycomb, we look at a lot of when we're evaluating a business that wants to run an investment offering with us. We're evaluating a lot of the financial things that a traditional lender would, but we're also looking at what kind of community engagement does that business have? What kind of relationship do they have with their customers? Being that we're an investment-based crowdfunding model, we want to see that there's an active, engaged customer base that's going to be interested in investing in a loan for them. So we look at things like Google reviews. You know, how many Google reviews do they have? We look at social media engagement in the audience. A lot of business owners who work with Honeycomb get investments from sharing their offering and sharing their growth project on their social media channels. So you know, we look at what kind of interactions our customers and social media followers leaving on that business. So we always advise to have a successful Honeycomb campaign, you know, have an active social media cadence, but as well as like I think being an entrepreneur who's just very active in your community. Like Taylor, when you worked with us, like you were so active in your community. So there's so many people that follow your business but follow you as well, who said like I absolutely want to invest in her brick and mortar. So being active in the community and having an engaged social media audience and just engaging with your customers in that way.
So I want to say let's take all of that and then we're going to add a couple of additional factors. So one thing for us that's really important is technical assistance. Like I cannot say enough technical assistance. And I know that it's a very broad term right now, but we're looking for our entrepreneurs to actively have some form of mentorship and coaching that is also accompanying the capital that you're going to receive. Because let's also be transparent, right? A lot of our entrepreneurs, most of their credit scores are under 600, you know, which a lot of times means they did not have access to financial knowledge, financial literacy. But we can't just say, hey, I need capital, and we don't really have the financial literacy to accompany that, because that also means that it's a possibility that we can mismanage business capital. And when you do that on the business side, after we already have financial challenges on the personal side, it makes it even more challenging for you to climb the capital access ladder. While you may start with Kiva, our goal is not only just only remain Kiva, right? We want you to become winnable for everybody else in here. I heard we have traditional banking institutions in the back. We want you to climb the ladder to go from Kiva to CDFI loans to traditional banking, right? But in order to do that, you have to have support. That is super important for us. And when you don't have that technical assistance, that coach, that mentor, we try to make sure that if we're in a hub market like Chicago, we have WBDC and Dania, that you are working with her, that you are working with someone on her team, or as I mentioned, our trustee partners, you have to be working with somebody so that we can trust that you're getting that information, because it's also just great to have different perspectives to accompany your learning. Even if everything isn't applicable that they're telling you, take what works and leave what doesn't, right? But at least have some things in the back of your mind. So that's another important element. Also, too, you have to become a master of your story. One thing that I can acknowledge that Taylor has done extremely well is that she can tell her story. Like, I'm interested. I want to know, how can I come back to Chicago and be more a part of what you have going on simply by just her telling her story. A lot of times we lose so much room for people to assume about our situations if we're not comfortable just sharing. Emma mentioned something that was very important, right? From an underwriting perspective, they can create a narrative about you just by looking at documentation. But a lot of times they see that credit profile, they don't know that you had to leave your job to go and take care of an ill parent. They don't know that you got a divorce and it got a little messy. They don't know that your kid, might have special needs and you have to take special care of them. Your underwriters don't get to see all of that. But what you have to do is be confident in telling your story. Even when the paperwork, the numbers don't always look the way that we probably like, be confident in that anyway, right? Because it's also in how you show up in a conversation with a lender that's also making a difference in their level of investment for you. It is so important that you have an advocate within the financial space. And I'll be honest, it's 6 lenders in here, y'all need to be shaking everybody's hand and they're learning about what everybody offers and how they can benefit you. Because at the different stages of your business life cycle, you may need different types of capital, right? And that is super important. Own your story, know your story, be confident in your story, because a part of crowdfunding, guess what? Online, you gotta tell a story, and that is exactly how you're going to get your lenders. But if we don't know how to articulate our story, and we don't even know how to write our story, we're not gonna really have a great chance of raising the capital that we need, because if people all over the world are coming to your profile and your profile really isn't telling them the story of why you're here and what you want to do, guess what? They're going to go to the next profile, right? Go to the next story that actually resonates with them. Learn to tell your story. Build those community connections. Social capital is so important, and it can manifest into financial capital from all types of levels. Invest in technical assistance. You need that support. Just because you're a business owner doesn't mean that you become an expert in every single thing in business. Make sure that you have a team around you that can support you.
True that. But she can do so many things that I can't. Those of you guys who are doing this by yourself, kudos to you. You can't do it by yourself. It takes a village to raise a business. I'm trying to tell you, you need to find people who can do the things that you do not do well. All right? Do what you do best, outsource the rest, and you're saying, oh, I don't have the money for it. You gotta find it. Okay, you have all these people in here, but you can find it, okay? And it's also like the mentorship is so important, and making sure that you go to places like the WBDC that give you free mentorship, that you can ask any question that you need, that like anything can help you. You just have to go out and get it. A closed mouth does not get fed, and we are trying to eat. Make you some friends, get you some rich and profitable friends, not just rich friends, get you some profitable friends, because association breeds assimilation, and you guys have got to learn how to get because that's what I've been able to do. Everybody's like, how did you do it? I didn't close my mouth, okay? I kept asking. I kept trying to get help. And it was so awesome that after 2020, when everything went digital, all of these programs are now available, that you can just take a webinar. I signed up for like 15 webinars a week. Even if I'm not there, I get the recording and I take the information from it, because you have got to learn what's going on. You have got to be in the know, because you don't know what you don't know, but that's not an excuse. You have got to learn as much as you can. Knowledge is really power. So going right along, now that it's Happy Juneteenth, it's June month, it's Juneteenth. How does your platform ensure inclusivity and accessibility for entrepreneurs from underrepresented backgrounds? Jump in, whoever wants to help me.
I can start.
So at Honeycomb, we're really proud to say that 50% of our loans are for businesses that are women-owned or minority-owned. So I think it's very much a part of our DNA to be focused on underrepresented communities. One thing specifically that we do to hold us accountable to that is we partner with a lot of foundations or private family offices or CDFIs as well who are looking, or impact investing organizations who are looking to make investments in minority and women-owned businesses, maybe in specific geographies or specific industries. But we partner with them in such a way that they set up loan funds with Honeycomb where they actually invest in Honeycomb offerings. So, for example, we have a partnership with an organization in Chicago called the Builders Initiative. It's an impact investing organization. So they say, hey, anytime Honeycomb that you guys have that you're working with a small business, a minority-owned small business in the arts space or in the food service space, we want to invest $10,000 in those Honeycomb offerings. So we have those kinds of partnerships kind of sprouting up in cities across the country. And we're really excited to be able to provide that additional assistance to minority and women-owned businesses. We know that the root of Honeycomb's model is community capital, so we try to take it a step further by also connecting local impact investing organizations and allowing them a vehicle to invest in underrepresented communities.
First of all, let's start with you, right? One, I'm a woman, as you can see, right? I'm obviously Black, but I also am a queer woman, right? So that is extremely important. So for our organization, it starts inside, right? It's before we even touch the client. It's who do our employees represent? How diverse is your organization? What is your organization's culture based upon Kiva? And I don't say this like they don't pay me to say this, but Kiva has been the best company that I've ever worked for. The company culture, the way that they accept it, the way that they truly believe in the work that we do and what everybody contributes to that. But now let's take that a step further. How do we support our entrepreneurs, right? The majority of our portfolio, first of all, is minority, right, in some capacity, whether it's gender, whether it's race, right, whether it's the nature of your business. We are very intentional about plugging the gap and not marginalized, but underestimated communities very intentionally. A couple of things I'm just very proud of. Last year, over 40% of our loans went specifically to Black businesses. Right now, our portfolio consists of about 36% of our financing goes to Black entrepreneurs across the country, which is really exciting. Those numbers are raising, even when it comes to our refugee communities. We want them. You do not have to be a U.S. citizen to take advantage of the student loan, and that is super important for a lot of our entrepreneurs. But also, too, we're trying to engage our entrepreneurs in a very different way. So just this year, 2 months ago, we started a new initiative to introduce some of our borrowers, our entrepreneurs, to our big donors at Kiva. So 2 months ago, I had the opportunity to host our very first Meet the Borrower event. And we brought some of our highest donors to come to this conversation to meet our entrepreneurs to learn about their journey. Extremely important, because sometimes you don't get to meet the people that are putting the financial engine behind the work that is happening, right? In a week, I will be hosting our very first Pride Borrower panel, right? Where we've invited some of our entrepreneurs who are part of the Pride community to come and share their journey. Because let's be honest, when biases exist in the world, it impacts your business, and we have to talk about those things. The only way that change happens is when we actually address them and create solutions for that. But we also have been bringing on a lot of additional partners. So our partners, Kiva is a fintech, right? So everything that we do is digital. Our entire team is remote. Because we don't have local branches and we're not necessarily in communities, we partner with organizations like WBDC to offer our Kiva loans to their entrepreneurs. We are very intentional about the partners that we select to work with, okay? Every partner is not a good partner, right? And we don't want those who have underlying things that they have going on in their organization. We are very intentional about picking partners who are actually interested in working with diverse communities. Because if those organizations aren't interested and they're just trying to check a box for funding, it's not going to work for the nature of the work that you're doing. I like to have honest conversation. I feel like we're family, right? So we're very intentional about that. So a lot of our partner organizations like WBDC are in communities where they are super, super diverse, and a lot of our entrepreneurs don't have access to other means of capital. We are intentional woman, all of it, right? To make sure that you have the opportunity to access capital that normally a lot of times is not made available to those entrepreneurs.
We follow up to that. I feel like I'm our twin. Can I add one thing, Mom? One of the advantages of working with the Super Brand is that we have what we call business advisory services. That means that both long, you have access to a full-time 24-hour consultant that basically will aid you in navigating through your experience in entrepreneurship, which is a positive. And these are like over $2,000 type people that basically provide the service for free for you. So a lot of the challenges that most entrepreneurs face is the fact that they really don't understand their brand. And so basically we teach people how to ask. Because a lot of times people don't ask. So let's train you how to ask and do a better job of asking so that when we put you in a position to be great, not clear, but great, you'll appreciate that. Now, I want to add to my twin right here. One of the things that's the advantage that we have, and I wrote this down because I knew I was here. So, we have a standard automation approval criteria. We have an online presence, which is awesome, and adherence to full lending practices. We have personal loan officer meeting that takes the time to help you understand your brand and what your mission is to the community that you're going to serve. Help you understand how to process what you do. Because a lot of times people create cookies, the tacos in their kitchen, but basically they don't know how to provide the deliverables to St. Kiva, my tacos, but that's tacos that we cover. And the thing that I'm most proud of is the fact that we're a mission-based organization. We definitely adhere to LMI practices, of course, global mindful, and communities of color, veterans, of course, and LGBTQIA++. Because I think it's important because in this era right now, everybody's inclusive. Okay? And once we recognize that as a whole, is when we will truly say that we are really giving everybody the diversity to be impactful to not only their brand, but to the community.
So, I'm really excited. I mean, I have to point out, right, we are here in Taylor's space. Black, queer, woman-owned business here, right? And I feel like Taylor is one of our incredible clients, but WBDC as a whole, overwhelmingly our client base is Westfall. I think it's like the 80 or 90%. It's really high. So the great news is our cohorts, the social capital that is spread around, we bring together folks who have diverse experiences, but then we always find a common ground. And that's, I think, one of the wealths that our loan program is really an extension of WBDC. It is part and parcel of the organization. And so our pool is an extremely diverse pool, right? And so I think what's one point of that in the last, we've closed 2 loans this year. And I was just thinking back, 2 individuals, right? Those 2 individuals collectively are women, veteran, disabled, immigrant, and person of color. 2 people. And we have so much diversity just within one person or 2 people. And I want to also mention that we leverage our community partners in terms of getting referrals for our lesson program. So a lot of our referrals are coming from Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Illinois Restaurant Association, Irwin Development Corporation, Southland Development Corporation. So the great news is we get to leverage our partners who are very place-based and do place-based services to funnel us directly and really create that warm handoff to not just refer people somewhere, but to really, transport them from I'm taking you here to here, right? Because that trust, when you're talking about your personal and business finance, is really, really critical. So it's not enough to just have a referral. It really needs to be that handoff. And so we do, I think, build that trust, and so that pool that we have, the privilege of having access to, is then just so much more able to access the capital when they feel there's that personal touch. I think that's, and the other thing I wanted to add was, as a business advisor, I spend 10 to 15 hours a week, every week, for the last year and a half, with clients, talking one-on-one with clients, understanding their personal financial history and their business situation. And those things I like to joke that I'm a therapist, because people have cried, people have yelled at me. There's been a lot of things that have gone on in that session, right? But the good thing about, I think, all of the alternative lenders up here, right, is that the key theme here is listening. You want a lender or a crowdfunder that is listening to your needs. Just like I tell my clients, you have to listen to your customer, right? So at WBDC, we're free from a lot of restrictions. We have a private loan fund. We're not a bank. We're not a depository institution. We're not held to those standards. So we can be pretty creative. And our challenge is really, tell us what you need, and we will try to match that and try to bring capital to you. So, yeah, I'm super proud of the work we do. It's part of my life mission, for sure, being a woman in business. Yeah.
I love that. I think a lot of people always ask me, how are you so successful? And I say, I listen. I listen to people. Like, actually listen to someone's name and tell you what their name is. Repeat their name back to them at the end of the conversation. It goes so far, okay? I know we only have a little bit of time, so we're going to kind of end it on this last question. So we've been here for the past hour. We've met with these wonderful people. Now we're ready to go get some financing. What do we need to do to be ready? When we come to you tonight, when we come to you tomorrow, we come to you in 3 months once we get it all together and we stop commingling all the funds and we got all of our stuff packaged in a nice, beautiful bow. What do they mean when they come see you? How do we get in touch? If I'm ready to sign up for Honeycomb, what do I do? If I'm ready to sign up for Kiva, what do I do? If I want to come to CDFI here in Chicago, can I come to Chicago now? What do I do? I want to go to the WBDC, what do I do? That's Mike.
I'll say this. If you come into the Pursuit branch, it's basically come with an open mind that we're going to do the very best we can for you. We're going to coach you into greatness. We can ensure that you have a plan that's going to make you successful. And we want you to basically have the courage to ask all of your partners, be it banking, CDFI, other than that, to refer people to you. And that's one of the things we don't do. Ask them, because they have access to everybody. Learn how to ask, and just want to put you in a position to basically be more confident in your brand, so that it exudes through you, and so that your community sees this, so you can employ more people, so people can be better. Of course, naturally, all the other prerequisites, of course, being multiple years of business and so forth and so on, and some of the factions. Basically, when you come with the attitude that we're going to be better and make you better.
I would say grab a gift bag before you leave. My hack was just put all the flyers in the gift bag, because then I'll take them. So my card's in there. We also have a flyer with more eligibility items on it with our direct lending program that has info on our webpage. We just launched a webpage finally, so there's a lot of info out there. So you can get in touch with me via an advising session. I would highly recommend that. Just book on my calendar, say, hey, I'm the Graf into that, I'll chat. Come talk to me afterwards. But I would say one thing is, do your research. When it comes to asking somebody for money, do your research on how much money you actually need and how much you can actually afford to take out, right? So, for instance, I've had people come in and say they need $100,000 for marketing or $1 million for a restaurant. Funny, nobody needs $1 million for a restaurant, right? Unless you're taking out the rainforest cafe downtown, but make a reasonable pitch, right? Walking into Shark Tank, we gotta have not only a convincing story, but a reasonable take a goodie bag and think through your ask.
At Kiva, we want you to come with your organizedness. Okay, bring the chaos. It is all right. Okay, we'll get talking after this, right? But she's gonna take her time with you and work with these things. Sometimes we don't even know how to figure out how much money we need, right? That is okay. We don't want what you have not been exposed to or what you don't know to be a limitation or a barrier to you accessing what you need. Just come as you are. Be willing to share your story. Have a purpose. Be driven about what you do because you don't want, well, one, we don't want to work harder for you than you're willing to work for yourself. Right? That is very important. And when it comes to crowdfunding, you have to do of the work to make sure that people are coming to your page and actually putting their money there, right? So come willing, come ready to work, right? But also come in a space where you are ready to release the shame, where you are ready to release the fear that may be associated with your past mistakes, right? Or that may be associated with just what you did not have or what you did not know, because it is okay. But once you recognize it's okay in here and in here first, then you will be more receptive to the information that we have to share, okay? Dania is absolutely amazing, and we want you in our care. Keep it up.
Similarly, being that Honeycomb is an investment-based crowdfunding platform, the majority of our loans range in size from $25,000 to $125,000. And one thing we look for specifically is like a very well thought out growth project and use of funds of what you want to use that money for, and not only from a credit or an underwriting perspective, but it's something to show potential investors. And I think that goes along with like being able to tell your story. When your customers are investing in your business, they want to know like, hey, what's my money going towards? They want to invest in the entrepreneur and that like the project, the growth of the business. It's something for them to get excited about. So being just very thoughtful and like, how do you want to grow your business? What amount of capital do you need? How do you want to grow your business? What are you going to do to achieve that? And being able to like narrate that in a really compelling way is one thing in particular we look for. I think with Taylor's Tacos, Taylor came to us to finance part of the build out of the Taylor's Tacos brick and mortar, and you were able to articulate that in such a beautiful and compelling way. And so you had $50,000 worth of customers say like, yeah, we want to see that brick and mortar open. So being thoughtful in that sort of growth project business plan. And then if you're interested in linking further, please feel free to chat with me after this, or you can just Google us and submit a form online.